Vision ASMR again, and this is the second part of a two-part sort of sounds duo. The first was crinkly stationary sounds, and the second of which you're watching now, is grainy, sort of sandy kind of sounds. So hopefully you've watched the last video. If not, there'll be a link to that somewhere around now, because that leads on to this one. But you can watch this one as well, just without seeing that one. At the end of the last video, I showed you this sound, which is the falling powder inside a sparkler. I find the sound of sort of grains and sand quite relaxing, just because it feels so sort of small and like it's trickling down, similar to the sound of water, I suppose. So that sound is what I ended the last video with. But today I'm going to move on to, not today, for now I'm going to move on to some more sounds of sort of falling particles. Now this is I think you call it a rain something, I'm not sure, but it's a kind of percussion-y sort of sound, and as you can hear, it has little beads in it. I'm going to try and be careful with this because I know it can be quite loud. If you tip it up too much, I'm just going to tilt it gently. I'm not exactly sure what's in there. It could be little bits of plastic or little beads of some sort. It's got a hard tin outside, also sounds a bit like something frying or something, like on a fire, with the little sort of specks of things. They're all quite similar sounds, this, fire, rain. They're all sort of random, speckly little sounds, all put together to form a sort of a big sound together. I think it's quite a beautiful sound. You hear like little beads ripping over the surface. It is definitely reminds me of like a fire, like a campfire. It's strange how sounds can sound so much like other sounds that you remember. I think I prefer the sound of when it's this little movements rather than big tilting. Sounds like this. In fact, you could say it sounds a little bit like the sparkler I showed you before when you light a sparkler. It all pops and there's little sounds like it. In some ways, this sounds a bit like the sparkler. So that's another link there, you can say. I'm always trying to find links and themes to have the videos in. So, the next item is it is actually a cushion type thing, a cushion or pillow. I'm not sure what you call it. You might think sort of why would this make a sort of grainy sound, particles sort of sound. But if you listen carefully, hopefully you can hear that. It doesn't seem to be showing up much on the they're so soft. I use this on my bed sort of to put on top of other cushions to use when I'm sort of sitting there. So while I'm listening and watching ASMR videos, I'll have this sort of behind my head, and it's kind of soft and nice. I'm a bit concerned because the sound doesn't appear to be going very well from this, but I figure that it should turn out okay because I can hear it quite clearly here. So if the microphone's working well and picking up everything that it is, then it should be fine. It might be that it just isn't displaying sounds of a certain frequency very well. I guess this is quite a high sort of rubbing sound. So, that's the cushion. And because it's my favourite sound, I'm just going to go back to this rain cylinder thing and make a few more last sounds with this, as it's my personal favourite, so I guess you guys hopefully will like it as well. This would be a good time to have a binaural microphone because I could tilt it from ear to ear, and I think this would sound really nice. But sadly not. And it's never really the same effect when you just use panning, so I'm not going to bother trying doing that. It's a lot of effort to go through and sort of pan everything to the left and right anyway. So, in summary, I hope you enjoyed this two-part series. As I said, if you're just watching this video, there'll be a link in the description to the first video of this mini series. It's just a pair of videos, and that one is about crinkly stationery sounds. So if you like crinkly packaging sounds, and also showing some stationery, some pens and paper, then you should definitely check out those things. Okay, so thank